Hello, welcome back to part 2 wiring for DCC. On this one I should be showing you how I put the bus bar in and then connecting the droppers to the bus bar using the terminals and the clips that are shown in part 1 with all the kit, and the 3 forms of connecting the dropper cable to the track, i.e. either on the metal fish plates, underneath the track or at the side of the rail. I shall show you them later on. But for now, I shall show you the different forms of putting your bus bar in, courtesy of Brian Lambert web page. So we'll get on with this then, and I'll show you what's what. Right, and these are the 3 forms of your bus bars. The top one is the most common one. It's what they call a radio. It's basically like a letter C, and all it is with a gap in the middle. Now this gap can be anywhere on your layout. But they do recommend that you put the command station or the brains or the whatever you want to call it roughly in the centre. That way it's got equal distance either way round for the power and the signal to get through. If you put it on the end or there, the signal's got all this distance to go, and if you've got a big layout there's a danger of signal strength. You're losing some of your signal strength by the time it gets to the end. So they recommend putting that roughly in the middle. That's a common one. Everybody uses that one. This is where the biggest arguments are. Oh, you've got to have a gap for this reason, for that reason, and everything else. But on Derby Road, on my exhibition layout, I've got a ring main, and it's a continual circuit all the way around, and I have no problem. I can't understand. These are my own viewpoints. Why people say, "Oh, that's the only way you've got to do it." My layout runs perfectly well with like this. I've got guaranteed signal going all the way around because the signal will come out of the control unit. You can put this anywhere on your layout because the signal will go either way. It's like electric, it'll go the quickest way round. So I use that one on Derby Road and I have no problem. Unfortunately I can't use it on this one because I've got a lot of section breaks in it. So, but it's basically this, but I'll have gaps because I'm sectionalising the feeds and electric. The bottom one, it's what they call a star. I've never used this one, but I should imagine a lot of the lads that make an end-to-end will use this one. Where it's basically the bus bar goes underneath like normal, and then you just tap off it. And then they say the same again. They suggest you put the control panel in the middle, so the signal has the same distance to go either side. But that's the 3 basic forms. Right, and I'll show you a simplistic way of doing a bus bar now then. Right, this is a simple way of your bus bar. It's a two lane circuit, just basic oval with a couple of points in it here and here, and then the bus bar goes around this side, which is shown by the red and black cabling round. He's put the gap on this corner, and he suggests putting the control box and everything in the bottom opposite corner. And as you can see, all it is you're just jumping onto the cables to the track. I don't know whether you can see that. Points, facing points. When you've got 2 points facing to each other, you must have a gap between the 2, which is shown here. And then you put a feed in the middle of the 2 points, and then on the outer rail or wherever you put your facing points, on the ends as well, either side of the points. And that way it guarantees your electrical feed going to your track. Here he's put like a little shunting thing or storage yard, and he's put a feed on the end just to make sure you got power in, because don't forget when you're wiring these up, if you're using live points, there and there is going to be dead. You're going to have an insulation point thing there. So, but that's the basics, and you can get this off of Brian Lambert. Let me just check. I've wrote it on the back. Yeah, Brian Lambert .co.uk. If you put them in lowercase and you'll get his web page. But that's it basically. Right, I shall show you what I'm doing now. Right then, earlier on I said there's 3 ways of connecting cable to the track. I shall show you all 3 ways now. First of all, you have to tin the cable. That's a simple operation. Get your pliers, strip the cable back, twist it a bit, and then get your flux. A handy little tip, because if you put the jar like that, you can guarantee you're going to knock it. So if you get an old cable, plonk it inside like that. That ain't going to fall far. Get some cable. I've already cut the end, and now we shall tin it. Nothing to be too worried about. All you do, get your solder, and that's it tinned. You just lightly put some solder onto the cable and that's your cable tinned. No problem. Oh, that's it. Easy enough job to do, but it's advisable to do it. Makes the cable a bit better and it joins the track onto the wire onto the track. Now when you solder wire to the track, you've got to make sure it's clean. So you get your fibre pen and just rub. This is where you go and get your fibre splinters from. Make sure it's clean. I don't know whether you can see that, but round about there, from there to there, is a bit shinier than the rest. And then what I do now is get my brush, dip it in my flux, and then where I've just wire brushed, just run the flux along like that. No, nothing too hard. Got some solder on my tip of my iron, and then where I've just put some flux, put the cable in there. You'll hear it hiss and smoke come off. That's it, done. Just give it a light tug afterwards. I don't mean really pull on it, but basically all you're doing is make sure you solder it onto the track and not the sleeper. That's one way of doing it. Trying to. There we are. Soldered onto the rail just there. Then you do the same on the other side, whichever cut. The other way is you solder the wire underneath. First of all, you have to cut the web in a bit, and which I shall show you now. We'll just show you now that all you're doing is, see the webbing at the back here, you're cutting that. Cut the one both sides, because then you can move it out the way to work on it a bit. There we are, we've gained the gap there. Same thing, wire brush. You've got to make sure the metal is clean. There we are, that's nice and clean. Get your flux, put it on the rail, like so. Get your cable, what you're going to solder onto it. Alright, get my cable, make sure the tip of my iron's clean again. Bit more solder on. Get your cable onto your metal, onto your rail, sorry, like so. And that should about catch it. Yep, just get a slight tug. I don't mean getting really yank it, just a tug to make sure you stuck it on. And that's it. Slide the rail back. Oh. Into position. There we are. And that's it. That's two ways of connecting it direct to the track. So there's that way where you've done it on the side, and then the other one underneath. Obviously with the one underneath you have to pre-solder it before you lay the track. Sorry, you have to pre-solder it before you lay the track. If you solder on the side of the rail, you can lay your track down and then solder. The third way of soldering onto connecting cable, the third way of doing it is soldering direct to the metal rail joiner. Same again, just give it a clean. That's all you're doing, just giving it a clean off. I'm using a pair of pliers to hold it, but get your flux again, just rub it on the joiner. A bit of solder on your iron. Hold it there for a bit, don't have to hold it long. There, I've got that. And there's that one done on the track. And obviously you get your metal joiner, and join it onto your track like that. I've only just done the one like that to show you, but if I were doing it this way, I'd do all four, all the same colour, and then do another four the different colour. And that's it. That's the three main ways of joining the track. Join the wire to the track, sorry. One on the fish plate, and obviously with that one you put another piece of track on then there, and that's getting you that join. Side of the track, you just see that there. Side of the track just there like that, and then the other one underneath. Let's say this one you have to cut a bit of webbing out, solder it to the track, and then push the webbing back, the rail back, sorry, like that, the sleeper. And that's it. We've all got the pros and cons. The pros for doing it on the side is quite simple. You lay your track and then put your cable on the side and join it. The cons for it, you might melt some of the webbing of the sleeper, which is no problem because by the time you've weathered your track and ballasted it, you won't see. The pros for this one, you don't damage the webbing or the rails or the sleepers, but the downside is you have to solder it onto the track before placing it onto your layout. And obviously you got to make sure you do the right side. One colour one colour on the other side. Rail joiners, same again. You can buy them ready welded, soldered on, but it's as cheap to buy yourself a soldering iron and learn to solder. You've just seen how quick it is. Nothing too hard, and then you just join it on the end. And then you track on the next one. Then obviously you have to drill an hole through the baseboard to feed the track through. Right, I shall show you how to start doing the bus bar. Right then, what I've done for now is just turn the boards on the edge so as I can work on putting the bus bar in. As you can see, the cables are all hanging out and there's loads of them as you look along. Sorry about the rafters of the roof, the joys of putting your layout up in the roof, in the loft and that. But as you can see, these are all the droppers. This hole here is for the point motors to go in. So I've got access in, same as there. But right, I shall put the bus bar in and I shall show you what I've done for now. Right then, the bus bar's in. As you can see, this is the bus bar with a male connector on then. This end will go to the connection on this board underneath, and then as you can see I've passed it through all the way through to the end here. Now, as I said, I'm making these into sections, so this board and the other board going the other way is one section, and then from this board onwards is another section. I put just a normal terminal block in there because what I should do is cut these cables and connect them into that terminal there. And as you can see, it's all in. Not tight, just loose, because when you put your dropper cable on, it'll come a bit tight anyway. Tighten up a bit. Go all the way through. As you can see, I pass them through the holes here, so they're for the cables. And then at the baseboard join, sorry about the shaky camera, you can see why you put plugs in. Male, female. You just connect them in there like that, and that's a continuation onto the next board. Like that. What I've done here is just a normal terminal block. I've just passed the wires through so it's secured it to the board, and then when I've finished I shall get this, and I should put a female plug in somewhere there, and then for when I'm travelling just stores it away so it don't get damaged. And then that's it, that's the bus bar all in, all the way to the end. There's a terminal on that end, as you can see, which will join onto that board underneath, but I can't get to that one yet because I've got to go underneath the board itself. At the minute, as I say, the legs are not on, so I can put it on the side, and which is ideal. If you can do it this way, it'll be beneficial because you haven't got to sit around under the floor. But unfortunately, if your board's already up and the legs are down, you've got to sit on your backside and stretch up. Right, then I'll start connecting the dropper wires to the bus bar. Right, and what I'm going to show you now is how to connect these clips, connecting these on. I forget what they call them. They're just like the clips that fit into these. Right, what I do now is get the cable, roughly put it where I want the joint to go. Don't pull the cable too tight. Cut it, and then you get your wire strippers. Like so. You can put 3 wires into one of these clips. And all I'm doing is just twisting the wires around so they're all linked together. I get my clip, feed the wire through, the will go through, like so. There we are, that's all the way through. And get me crimping tool, just crimp the end of it. These tools, the grip-on tools, you get them from a Halfords or Car Place. I can't tell you how much they are, I've had these for a few years now. But you can pick them up from most car places, let's say such as Halfords. If you look here, there's a metal strip here. Where that V goes is where the cable sits, it slides in. What happens is when you crimp it, that slices through the outer casing, the plastic sheath, and then makes contact with the cable underneath. Oh, wrong one. There we are. And then you just crimp it on. You will feel it click. I don't know whether you're able to pick that up. And then you just slide these in. Like so. I'm having a bit of difficulty because I'm having to do it arm's reach. I've got the camera between me and my board, so I'm struggling a bit. Oh right, it's in. And that's how you connect them all up. So I've done them all. I've got one more board to do at the other end, and then that's all the wiring connected to the bus bar. Right, and what you see in front on you is the electronic circuit breaker from NCE. As you can see, I've got 4 of them there for the 4 different sections. This will be for one section, this will be for the section on the front, same as that one. This one and this one are for the sections for the storage road. I'll explain to you how they work and how they wire. Right, and the way they work is they have the power coming in from the booster, live and neutral, comes in at this end and goes out at the other end obviously. This terminal and this terminal, the 2 left hand ones, they're directly linked straight through. The switch actually happens on the right hand terminal, everything between the right hand, these 2. Let me see if I can, this one and this one. Everything works on the switch side. As I say, this one and this one, it's basically a wire straight through, well, printed circuit as it is on these. Just here, let me just see it gets close in for you. Just here there's a warning light. When that flashes, it's telling you that there's a short. But if you just look to the right of it, you've got some terminals. On there you can put a LED. I think it's terminals 3 and 4, which are these end ones here. I'm trying to do this so you can see the end ones there and there. because they've got resistors already built into the breaker, you can just take your wires from the back of your LED straight from there to your control panel, and then that way you've got a warning light on your control panel. They will protect your circuit up to 8 amps, so I think you'd be alright for even O gauge. And the way you do it with these here, these are what they're called jumpers. Let me get a bit closer, sorry about the rattle. Yeah, these here are what they're called jumpers, and there's 3. At the minute I've got them set at the factory setting, which is 2.5 amps, but on the instructions it shows you how to do it up to a maximum of 8 amps by using them. Simple enough idea, just protects your circuits from anything shorting out. This will switch off a lot quicker than your booster, picks it all up. Sorry, let me bring it out again. This will pick it up a lot quicker than your booster does, and it just protects your booster and any chips you've got in your locos. Right, I'll just wire this end one back in onto the bus bar, and I'll show you what to do. Right, and I'll connect one onto the bus bar as shown you. What I did forget to tell you is you don't have to solder cable in. There's screw terminals in these, so you just connect your cable straight in by the screw terminal. It doesn't matter which way round you have your positive and negative, but whatever you choose, stick with it throughout the rest of your layout. At the minute I'm having the straight through loop on the black side and the switch is going to be on the red side. Again, this is why it's important to have a colour same as the dropper, dropper in the bus bar. Right, I'll connect this black cable up. What I'm using is what they call suitcase connectors, these things. As you can see, the one on as you can see, this side's blocked halfway down. This white side you can see straight through. Put your bus bar in there, and then you lead from your fuse into the other one. I'll just show you what I mean. Sometimes it's just as easy to show you. Put the black one in the top. Sorry about it. Getting all in the way again. Now, that's one lead connected. Easy enough job. Oh, gone the wrong way. I'll just do the other one again to show. So they call these suitcase connectors. Into the top, as you see, it don't come all the way through. Pliers, and push the metal bar through. It cuts through the cable like the blue ones do, and that's it. In theory now, if I put power on, I shall have power to the storage roads. Right, and I think that's about the end of part 2. All the droppers are in, bar one board I've got at the back of me on this corner here. I've got to go underneath the boards and sort it out. The electronic fuse breakers are in, and they've just got to be connected up to the booster. The next one, part 3 of this group of films, will be connecting the control board and putting in the hand throttles, and hopefully have something running by the end of the weekend on that one. That's not going to be for another couple of weeks, because with it being the summer and we're about to go on holiday soon, so hopefully I'll give me a bit of a rest. But hope there's something there you've seen and learnt. Please subscribe, and if you've got any comments, please leave a comment. That way I know that if there's a comment there, I'll answer it, and I'll know what people are looking for. Well, all for now then. all the best then. Bye.